And one more thing we need to talk about before we move on from the Backyard Brawl and into Kansas is, God dang, man, Zac Alley, worth every penny.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
And what is up? Welcome back in, guys. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. This is Locked On West Virginia, baby. Well, we're talking about the West Virginia Mountaineers again today with a little kiss from somebody else that I haven't let you talk to yet, that hasn't been on the show in a while. I'm excited for that. Before we get there, I got to tell you a cool thing really quick. Did you know that this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by from people over at FanDuel? Right now with FanDuel, if you place your first $5 bet, which is very easy to do, it's something that anybody can do, and it wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. So be simple about it and download the FanDuel app today. Thanks for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team, the Mountaineers, every single day. And it's Paul After Dark, as we know, but we're not doing it alone. We got the man, the myth, the legend. He was there in person yesterday, Carson Fox.
Paul, thanks for having me. Wow. I'm glad that I have enough voice to do this show with you.
Said you're a raspy voice kid today.
I tried to will Mountaineer Nation to victory as best I could, getting people pumped up for field goal kicks. I thought we could start some sort of miscommunication in the headset with Eli Holstein. And at some points in times it paid off, then some points in times it didn't. But at the end of the day, it was a Mountaineer victory, and I cannot be freaking happier.
Yeah, speaking of Eli Holstein, he said he got punched yesterday, and I was just wondering, man. Was that you? Did you do it?
No, it wasn't me. Wasn't me. I just watched this play. Honest to goodness. I've watched this game back from beginning to end now at least twice through.
You know where it happened? Down on their goal line,
yeah.
right?
It was in – well, here's why. Eli Holstein, I don't know what's wrong with his helmet, if it's not inflated entirely, but that's what was called – on the roughing the passer or the targeting call against Ashton Woods, because he hit him just below the jaw and it moved his helmet just enough. And then on
moved it downwards, right? And the face mask hit it.
Yeah, and then the play that he tried for a rush in on the goal line in the second quarter, he gets hit by multiple Mountaineers. First to hit him was Curtis Jones on a completely untouched rush, and his helmet shakes then and there. So I don't know if it was just
that's when it was.
The pressure from his helmet shifting whenever he got hit by the first or second time. That's what did it on him. It wasn't anybody punching him in the. It might have felt like he was getting punched in the face.
That's what I said.
Yes,
and you know, it's like you use the word punched. Saying I got hit in the nose, okay, I can accept. Mm-hmm. Saying I got punched in the nose, I can't accept that. I don't believe that. It's not true. It's a lie. It's another perpetuation of the way they tried to build this thing up to be this week. It's dangerous down there. It's couches are burning, babies are flying, batteries are flying,
Molotov cocktails.
Really the first thing you think of, Pat Narduzzi, when we ask you, hey man, what do you think about beer sales or whatever the question was about alcohol? And his answer was, well, they'll be, oh, that's right. What do you think about the game being at 3:30 instead of nighttime? He said, well, at least they'll be less liquored up, and less likely to throw a beer. It'll only be half full.
I don't know about that, Paul. I mean, I walked through the Blue Lot, and many people were having a really good time yesterday. And I think because it was almost 90 degrees, the intensification of the alcohol in people's blood systems made it even that much worse, if you know what I mean. But back to Narduzzi, he's a schmuck. I'm thankful that he lived in his fears in the fourth quarter like Neil Brown did in 2022. 4th and 4 at the WVU 37. You don't have enough faith in your offense. Again, you're afraid of West Virginia's defense to go for it. You take the delay of game penalty, punt down. Nico makes you pay for it the other way with an 87-yard drive. So, I mean, all he has to – I'm glad that he gets up there on the podium and said, it starts with me. Yeah, it does start with you, pal. You lived in your fears. You made fun of Neil Brown last year with the, did they have fun comment and everything for so many years now.
0-7 now.
Yeah.
Since that comment.
Now you're playing against a Rich Rodriguez, Zac Alley led team. And these players, they were coming out there to collect skins. They wanted the Panthers, on their trophy case. And with now 4 years till this game's going to come back, we got the Battle of the Black Diamond Trophy. Now we got the Backyard Brawl to hang on to. So now
he's fired.
Yeah,
maybe Narduzzi could be getting fired if he don't straighten up.
I love when Pitt
have coaches.
Yeah.
If you'd have told me West Virginia and Virginia Tech would lose their coaches in back-to-back years like 20 years ago, I'd have said you were crazy, right? Because we had very stable situations. Nothing lasts forever, man. It's crazy that, and I think they want Shane Beamer down there. They're not going to get him, but that's who they want. Shane Beamer will be, in my opinion, he should have already went to Alabama earlier before. He was one of my top guys. But anyway, we're off the topic. So try to be objective here because I know you were personally there and it's really hard, right? But give me, I'm going to ask you for some ratings, okay?
Sure.
Scale of 1 to 10. Give me the which one should I do first? Give me the loudness. How loud did it get yesterday on a scale of 1 to 10 based on all your previous places, previous times you've been there?
It got pretty loud. Man, Virginia Tech in 21 was pretty loud, even for a noon kick. I mean, I don't think anything ever compares to 2011 LSU, right. 2018 Oklahoma. I mean, I consider it in pretty rare company.
That one didn't last long, but yeah.
Yeah, especially whenever the game got dark. When it got into the fourth quarter, very loud. And there were at times during, a couple of different field goal attempts that I think Mountaineer Nation came to play. And this is the thing, and this is what drives me crazy. Not to get off the rails here, but when we talk scheduling and why Ren Baker and previously Neil Brown wanting to go to this just one Power 4 opponent per season in non-conference play. Those are the kinds of games that get Mountaineer Nation up. Penn State, Virginia Tech, Pitt, oh my gosh, that's what we need. We need those old traditional geographic rivals to sell out Mountaineer Stadium, make it loud, look good on and rate well on TV. But I understand that we play in this Big 12 conference. So
I wonder what our rating was. Is that out yet yesterday for the game? Ratings out yet?
Not that I've seen so far.
Not yet. Okay. Well, we'll find out soon. I'd like to see us in the 3s or 4s, but we'll see.
3:30 window. Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible, especially because it went overtime. I'm assuming it spiked probably pretty good, but we'll see. Because we were up against Georgia, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame A&M. It's good luck. But okay, so what was your rating on a 1 out of 10 scale?
Oh, I think it was anywhere around a 7 and 8. If LSU was a 10 at times.
Rate the game itself as far as games you've attended.
I mean, I don't know. I was at Baylor 2012, and that game was just insane.
There too.
Tavon Austin's game, same in 2012 against Oklahoma, even in a loss. 2018 Oklahoma went down to the wire. I wasn't at the Garrett Green win in 2022 over Oklahoma, but that would have felt nice. Texas in 2021. Now this one's top 5 for sure, Paul. I mean, maybe even top 3 because it's just West Virginia, as we've seen, what could have been had West Virginia lost. What we saw in 22, what we saw in 24, and then coming off last week against Ohio. I keep telling people who've been seeing my shirt today at church and being outside and stuff saying good win yesterday and everything. I was like, I needed that from my soul. I just needed deep down in my bones. I needed that for this.
For sure.
There's just been nothing I mean, ever since that game, that 2018 Will Greer, Oklahoma, it's just been hard to find the light in all of the transition that's happened through COVID, through the beginning of NIL and the transfer portal, to a coaching change, even still with basketball, kind of on the outside, the same kind of thing, and then affecting football. It's just like we're in a new world of college football. And why can't West Virginia be that same kind of team that's like breaking the national spotlight like Vanderbilt freaking is right now? That's what I mean. Why not us? That last night felt like it can be us. There is that potential in the future, even with all of these new players, all these new coaches. Maybe this is laying the groundwork for something special again, but it's going to take time.
It's going to definitely take time, man. It's definitely going to take time. This was me yesterday with my Mountain Dew cans flying throughout the air.
I had a Mountain Dew on the way to the game thinking about you. I had a Mountain Dew at Wings Olay with my beef burrito and fries and blue cheese. So I was definitely caffeined up with some coffee in the morning, and then, trying to stay hydrated as best I could through that heat yesterday.
Let's go to break, man. So on the other side, guys, we're going to talk about Zac Alley and the defense. We're also going to look at the Pro Football Focus grades from yesterday on this show. Some bad and some good, a lot of grit, though, and I think you can't measure that on Pro Football Focus. We'll be right back. And this episode of Locked On West Virginia going to be brought to you by the Game Cap, guys. And quick question for all you college football fans out there. If you could go back in time, sit front row at your school's biggest rivalry game, what hat would you be wearing? Yes, I said hat. Obviously, for me, it's the Backyard Brawl, or you could go Black Diamond, you could go Virginia Tech, but these aren't just hats. They're the same vintage styles worn back in the 80s and 90s, and guess what? They still go for the same price they did back then. When you use code Locked On, you'll get your vintage hat for $16.99. Just head to gamecaps.com, thegamecaps.com, and grab your team's classic bar or retro circle design and use code Locked On for an exclusive discount, because legends, they wear the game. And of course, we can't forget about our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. Carson was just doing this. Caffeine just got a flavor upgrade with 5 Hour Energy. Shots that deliver tasty caffeine in 17 bold flavors. Each 2-ounce shot packs the caffeine of a premium 12-ounce cup of coffee, plus B vitamins and nutrients with 0 sugar and 0 calories. Almost too good to be true. What I love most about them is how portable they are. Big taste, tiny shot. Take it anywhere you want and get the boost that you need, and nobody will even know it. So, look, honestly, I love how fast it kicks in. And it's the sugar-free ride that I love, and I don't have to worry about crashing later. Energy with boring, flavorless caffeine is out. This is in, and it's time to give your caffeine a flavor upgrade with 5 Hour Energy shots. Get the favorites you love, or be bold and try something new in store or online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon today. Segment 2, we crack open this do, y'all, with Carson Fox back on the show. Let everybody know where they can find you, man.
Catch me on Twitter. You can follow me at Carson_Fox27, or my YouTube channel, Fox on West Virginia Mountaineer Sports. And I'd love to see some comments on my video. Love engaging with Mountaineer Nation, and it's a lot of fun.
Carson's a really talented content creator. He's newer to it, but he is definitely got the talent. If he could produce more content, because he got a job, if he was able to produce more content, I believe that your channel would really take off, because you're really good at putting your thoughts together, So I have a lot of belief in you, man. And, I've got your back for sure.
Thanks, dude. Appreciate you.
All right. So, you think we spent $2 million pretty well on Zac Alley?
Better than Graham Harrell a couple of years ago. I think I was contemplating this idea kind of on the drive home yesterday. Peak Tony Gibson, peak Jeff Castile. Think he's better, or right up there alongside them?
I would say he's a little better. Maybe I'm recency bias here, but here's why I would say better. Would you consider Brent Venables to be on a level plane above those guys you just mentioned?
Yes.
Right. And then he said, I want that guy to call my plays. That says a lot for Zac Alley.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Rich Rodriguez said, I'm willing to pay $2 million. You could have got a really good defensive coordinator for $1 million. Somebody that would probably be pretty good. You could have got Johnson from La Tech or wherever he was for $1 million, right? And you said, no, I want to give up $1 million. We could probably put in NIL or otherwise. I want to give him to my defensive coordinator because I've coached with him and he's that good. And I don't think I'm going to be able to be good enough on offense in year one. But we can, if you'll notice, they put more money into the defense than they did the offense by a large margin. So, I mean, you look at the guys they got over there. I mean, a couple of them weren't even able to play, but Harrington was a big name. I think he's still going to come on as the season goes. Obviously, Jamoy Robinson, when he steps on the field next week, will finally be able to realize all that potential and money we put into him. Michael Coach Jr., haven't heard his name, but it's been a good thing because he's not getting beat, right? We haven't had any corners like that in a while, and he's just one of the names. Obviously, you keep a guy like Eddie V, who probably had options to go other places. Hammond Russell has played well at times. You go out and get Chase Wilson to be the leader of your defense. Reed Carrico, you pay him to stay. And all these guys have played excellent ball to the point that and Zac Alley has used them extremely well. And then you've got some young guys stepping up that we really didn't know about, but they knew about, right? So it's been a great mixture. Also, Braden Siders comes in from Wyoming, another guy, but, without naming the whole defense, we've got a pass rush. And Fred Perry, I mean, you keep going and going and going. Name that many guys on the offensive side of the ball. I'll start with Cam Bond and then go from there. Where do you go from there? Ty Edwards?
Well, I think, yeah, you had to make this kind of investment given where you were starting at the end of last season. I mean, I went through the numbers in my preseason preview. I mean, every statistical category you could think of, from scoring defense down the line to third down defense to takeaways, red zone defense, everything. West Virginia was in the hundreds in FBS. So you had to go out there and set the tone, say, hey, we want defense to travel every single week. I know West Virginia, and like I've said this many times before, we as fans, we consider West Virginia an offensive program. But it's also nice to see some really good hard-hitting defense out there, and that's what truly lacked for even going into the later stages of the Dana Holgorsen era. Ever since about 2016, with Rasul Douglas's led defense, West Virginia had lost that defensive identity. They have had, a constant turnover in the defensive secondary. I mean, at one point in time last year, Shadon Brown was coaching both safeties and corners. I didn't understand it. And we know what kind of a chaos like agent that Jordan Leslie was as a defensive coordinator. So you finally have
his tenure kind of baffles me. So good for 2 years and then just falls off the map.
Yeah, and then it was Tyke Smith lighting the bomb that was like, okay, it's cool to transfer away from West Virginia, and Jamal Adai stole him, stole Akeem Mesidor, who's still freaking playing for Miami these days. It's crazy to me. But so anyway, constant change in the secondary, never had any stability there. You get in Rod West out of App State to coach at corners. You bring in Jason Chambers, also his understudy Nick Taylor as a sophomore, so he'll be ready to start come next year. I like the foundation that they're laying so far this year, and he's having all of these players play up to their freaking potential. I mean, Devin Grant so far this year. Reed Carrico's looked like a monster. Eddie V, played his best game as a Mountaineer yesterday. And then just strategic additions in the transfer portal. Darian Lewis, interception yesterday. That was huge. He's their leading tackler. I
forgot about him. I rated him a 4-star transfer when he came, and everybody told me I was crazy. Yeah. But I had a tip. So
well, yeah, I forget his name off the top of my head, but I watched another YouTube account who specializes in finding guys at small schools out of
Bips list.
Oh, that might be it.
That's where I got it from.
Somebody needs to hire that guy because clearly he's doing something.
We talk all the time. He's like, because he looks in JUCO, he looks a lot of different places like that.
Yeah.
And so, he told me Darren Lewis, he told me Ty Edwards. He also told me Sincere Bowers. Those were, he would put me onto them, and I was looking at their film and agreeing with him, coming on here and talking about them. I've looked pretty smart at times because of the list he was putting out.
And then just the pressure going back to yesterday's game that West Virginia was just able to throw at Holstein. He made Pitt's offensive line look as bad as they've been the last couple of years. They knocked out Des Reed early on in the second quarter, changed
that probably won us a football game.
That changed the whole complexion of Pitt's offense. And then
But we were without Gene.
Yeah, they did give up some chunk plays. I'm not going to say it was like a perfect defensive effort. But, man, those times in the Scotty Fox turnovers in the third quarter, they not only stopped Pitt from scoring touchdowns, they pushed Pitt back. Penalties included, but pushed them back, forcing them to kick field goals, made it a tighter game than possible. And then once finally Coach Rodriguez goes back to Nico, that's what changed the whole momentum shift there in the fourth quarter to win the game in overtime. And then, what a freaking defensive stand there in overtime. Loss of one, sack, and then I don't know what he was throwing on that last play. That wasn't going to get a first down anyway, so they just gave up. The defense won that game.
We've come a long way since this play against Robert Morris, where look at the defensive tackle from Robert Morris pushing Macaniole into the backfield, right?
Mm-hmm.
That offensive line played better yesterday. It's still not elite, but could we be doing this? Which is, we're showing a graphic right now where Rich Rodriguez took Jacksonville State from 0-3 to 8, to 8-1 down the stretch. Could we be on the march? Could we be possibly catching fire at the right time as this team starts to gel like last year's Jack State team? We talk about that and these Pro Football Focus scores for sure next. And, of course, this episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our friends over at Prize Picks. When you're talking about Prize Picks, man, look, this is a daily fantasy app where making the right call can actually pay off. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. With football back, Prize Picks is the simplest and fastest way to get in on the action. Just like all you have to do is pick more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and you can turn your takes into real prizes in less than 60 seconds. It's quick, easy, and honestly, it's probably my favorite way to follow along with college football that I don't have a rooting interest in. Download the Prizes Picks app today and use code LOCKEDONCollege to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 play. Prize Picks. Feels good to be right. And last but not least, we got to talk about our friends over at FanDuel. NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready to kick off with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and make you holler, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. It makes every game more exciting whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on the fantasy lineup. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app today and now by using FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. Back with Carson Fox from the
Fox on West Virginia Mountaineer Sports.
That's it. Sometimes I forget the full name of it. So
it's a mouthful, man. I know. It's like I don't want it to be West Virginia sports because then it's like, okay, I'm talking high school too specifically or something.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Pro Football Focus scores. Here we go. We'll put up a little graphic here. For those of you who are listening, we'll read it out loud. Justin Smith-Brown, wide receiver, 74.2 Pro Football Focus grade. Very good. Rodney Gallagher with a very respectable 69.1. Preston Fox on very few snaps, 66.7. Jacob Barrick, 63.9. Grayson Barnes, 63.5. Nico Marchiol, just above average at 62.6, or no, just below average. I'm sorry. Clay Ash, just below average at 62.2. Cam Vaughn is below average at 60. Everybody's below average from here on. Josh Isosa is at 60. Donovan Haslam at 59. Gerard Bowie's at 59.1. Sincere Bowers at 58.9. Malik Agbo at 58.9. Jalen Henderson's at 56.9. And Oron Singleton at 55.8. But you have to keep in mind, y'all, is a lot of these were very, very short on the snaps, right? Curtis Jones at Bandit, 64.4. Eddie Besterinen, defensive line, 64.4. Darren Lewis, 64.2 at safety. Marshawn Oxley, 63.6. Brett Perry, 62.6. Hammond Russell, 61.8. Ben Cutter, 60.8. Nick Gabriel, 60.6. Nick Taylor, 60.1. There's your guy. Braden Siders, 59.7. Sonny Redwood, 59.5. Reed Carrico, 59.5. Jordan Walker, 55.7. Chris Filippo, 51.3. Israel Boyce, 49.9. And Ashton Woods is 48.5, which I'm kind of surprised at that one. We got a few more here. I'm trying to run through them. Jeff Weimer, 53.4. Walter Youngbear, 53.4. Tykees Crawford, 52.4. Lennon Livingston, 51.5. Ryan Ward, 44.1. Kimo Makaniele, 43.6. Scotty Fox, 25.8. Not surprising, though. Michael Coates, 80.1 elite. Jordan Scruggs, 75.5. Very good. Jason Chambers, good at 69.1. My guy, Ben Bogle, 66.7. Devin Grant, 65.6. Justin Harrington at 65.3. Very good on that. You got, I think I've already shown those. And then you've got Curtis. Oh, I've already shown those too. Okay, so it seems to be all of them. Trying to put these pieces of the offensive line together here first. Yeah. What's your takeaway? You've got three guys right here in the low 50s, man. It was just not good enough, is it?
But it was a better effort than what we saw last week with Ohio. And when complemented with Ty Edwards, it made it work. Even though you didn't get as much rushing out of the quarterback position as you probably would have liked, he was a man-child out there, Paul. I said this on my video just a little bit earlier. There's three things about football players heterosexually that I really enjoy. 300-pound or bigger off defensive linemen, Australian punters, and big freaking running backs. And Ty Edwards, he is the CJ Donaldson 2.0 that this team desperately needs.
He's got some Ollie Gordon in him.
Oh, I thought so. That's a good call.
Got a little bit of that in his game.
He's strong, runs hard in between the tackles. I don't think he has as much speed as Donaldson. I mean, he kind of like lost steam on the outside there on that one he carried down.
I think he was tired. I'll have to say, you could be right. He hit 21 miles an hour on the gun when he was at Northern Iowa.
Okay.
On a run, but it was against FCS opponents, so you really can't see. He was a lot faster than them in that play. It was only one play, but I think by the time that big run hit, he'd already had like 7 or 8 carries or something that drive, or maybe not that many, but like 4 or 5 carries. Do you remember? Had he had a bunch of carries before he broke that run?
No. It was very early on in the contest. I remember down the sidelines. I was like, wait a second. It was second quarter. West Virginia has something here in Ty Edwards because it was Clay Ash to kind of start the game. And hey, Clay Ash was really an unsung hero in this game. I know it was only about 3 yards per carry, but that play defines Nico Marchiol. I mean, steps up in the pocket,
I say he's like Tim Tebow all the time.
Throws across his body. It Ash just hanging out by the sidelines, catches it, jukes out a defender, first down. Like that, Clay Ash, watching it back today, you know who he kind of reminds me of running the ball now? Tony Mathis. Just like kind of that one cut, sees the hole, hits it. It's not pretty. He doesn't have the greatest stability. He's always falling forward, something like that. But man, he runs hard, and I like that kind of. If that's going to be our West Virginia's 1-2 combo moving forward, I'm okay with it for right now.
I think Sincere needs more carries. I don't understand why he's not getting them.
Yeah,
he's the most explosive and fastest back. The play that Ty got caught on, he would have scored on. But Here's the thing. The only reason Ty was even in that position is because he's able to break tackles at the line of scrimmage.
Yes.
That's why it was working. Jaheim was able to do that to an extent, but I think even he would have got caught on a couple of those that he broke yesterday because he was running. You could tell he was full of adrenaline on a couple of those runs. You ever ran so fast it feels like you're floating? Like
No,
whether
I'm
you're
not
like
that
you ever been so scared like no, okay.
Well, I mean, we could be telling some stories here, Paul. Yeah, I mean, but no, I'm not that fast. But I wish.
No, it's like an adrenaline thing, though. Kind of takes over.
Yeah.
Anyways, it looked like, man, to me that he was just a little possessed yesterday, and I'll be really interested to see if he can carry that on. We're going to have somebody else emerge as a serious number 2 behind him because I don't think he's ready. Based on how he was responding yesterday, physically, he looked beat up at the end of the game a little. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're going up against that linebacking core, Kyle Lewis, Rasheed
That's true.
Kyle,
They were beat up too.
I mean,
both teams are probably going to lose their next game. That's what somebody told me earlier. We're going on the road to Kansas, you know?
Yeah, it feels like that TCU game 2 years ago where you were just happy to have like intact bodies by the end of it, the way that Dominic Williams was just cracking all of our offensive linemen and eye gouging them. And then defensively, I would say, I think I said earlier, I was, except for those couple of miscues. Secondary looked really good. Eddie V, I think that was his best game as a Mountaineer. Reed Carrico pressuring up the middle. Eddie Kelly Jr., I think, is establishing himself as a every down kind of starter out there. So I can't wait to see, and this is why I talk about preseason, is can Zac Alley now be multiple on his defensive line with Jamori Robinson? Can you go Jamori on one side, Eddie Kelly on the other, Eddie V, him, and Russell on the middle?
Yeah, or Braden Siders on one side, him on. You can mix it up with a few different names.
Mm-hmm.
You can even go if you really wanted to. If you want to go NASCAR, you could go Marshawn Oxley, or you can do a bunch of different guys. Really, like when you really get down to the meat of it, like there's a few different guys you could go with. But I'm trying to think of who I would much rather have. But I think Curtis Jones would probably be my top pick now based on how he played yesterday. So I'll go with him. Curtis Jones on one bandit, Jamori Robinson on the other, and just engage 8.
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? You're going to need to do that these next 3 weeks because you got Jalen Daniels.
Elusive.
He's going to feel like Parker Navarro out there faster than Holstein. Then Dampier, who everyone's making out to seem like the best quarterback in the Big 12. And then we don't know what we're going to get when we go to BYU. Bachmeier.
It's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Dakota Collins says, Paul, love the guest man, but can we agree Jackson Johnson is the man? Oh, that's great. Listen, I'm really glad that you like Jackson. Have you met Jackson before? He's been on my show a couple times recently. He hosts the Locked On Alabama show, and he is like the definition of country bumpkin.
Oh, okay.
Not Locked On Alabama, but like Voice of College Football Alabama. Sorry.
Okay.
He is the super heavy country accent. I mean, if you told me he was from West Virginia, he sounds like he's from West Virginia in a lot of ways. I mean, he really does. I mean, it's it's really thick. Like mine used to be whenever I moved from Mingo County.
So like Xavier Leggett. I mean, that's my guy. No, I get accused of that being just up here north of the border.
When I moved over in Ohio, my eyes turned into eyes, But like my dad, I do impressions of my dad all the time, Like my name wasn't Paul, it was Hey Paul. Or
depends on the company. I feel like you keep. Sometimes the twang comes out a little bit more depending upon who you're around. But
my uncle's got a pretty funny way. He says his A's. It's not fast, it's spiced.
Nice.
It's not pass, it's pice.
Well, around here it's like crick, downtown, It's all that you hear about McAfee, like his Pittsburghese comes out on game day. It seems like at times, like I'm right there in between, getting a little bit of that and then a little bit of the Southern twang. So that's funny.
Oh man, good times and great country. WTCR.
Oh,
guys, make sure you check out Carson Fox on his show. The
Fox on West Virginia Mountaineer Sports on YouTube.
I'm about to write that down. Fox on West Virginia.
Just search Fox West Virginia.
If I can remember Fox on West Virginia, I'll remember the Mountaineer Sports part of it. But obviously, he does an excellent job over there. Really works hard whenever he gets time. He puts really thoughtful videos together. And is unique. He has his own unique branding he uses. So make sure you check him out. And I would appreciate it. Appreciate you guys for joining in. This has been a fun one. What a great week to bask in the glory of a Backyard Brawl win. Seeing Richrod bask in the glory after the post game was so awesome to see for all of us. The 18-year monkey off the back. It's kind of like whenever it's like the guy taking the monkey off of Steve Young's back, right? And that classic video, or John Elway, this one's for John. That video.
Oh, I know that one.
Like, I was thinking of all those today. Like, how many people have had a proverbial monkey on their back?
I talked about this on the drive home with my dad, who actually just celebrated his 70th birthday this past week, in 1977 WVU graduate. So it was really cool to get to experience that with him. So he's seen many of Backyard Brawls in his lifetime, good and bad, even at old Mountaineer Field. And like, that doesn't take away the complete sting from 2007. At least it doesn't for me. But you know what? It took off enough of a percentage, again, that I'm feeling really good about that win, the prospects of the future of the program. And I truly am, on a personal level, happy for Rich that it's come full circle now, that he's back in Morgantown, first year for now 4 years. And by the point in time that he plays Pitt again, he's here in 2029. He's 66. So he's, in the older category of coaches in college football. So you don't know how many more opportunities that you're going to get at that kind of a redemption story. So that felt really good for him, his family, everybody in the program.
All right, guys, we thank you for being here. We will talk to you on the next one. Make sure you check out his show. Make sure you like this one. Subscribe if you're new around here. And we will see you tomorrow with more coverage on the Mountaineers as we talk about Kansas. We got a lot to talk about with that. And we'll see you then, guys. For Carson, for me, this episode's over, and Q Country Roads as we go out of here. I just got